Eye Ensa TV Oboroso bw'umugusi. Mwanchumo rigiralia Ensa TV no mubasonde omuyaseri tukerigalia gatano na kabere asumutinyo gatatu mwaka bw'echilifu 2025 na rimo no kwigeda kwa nebuna kwagenderere buya kuranda sia sore asumu basobono cyaragere cyinsa isano na ibere cyabona mubaso cya Afrika ya mucenga kingo kwariganya eriyo to cyanyora amajya asenchera y'ubwenge burabasiki bayito bayarganire asumu basobono iri kwane kinango gokirare eribwe manye aliagendera taya akarkari na boigo ayarache kubwatia ase ritko lyarero bwati gwetera senchera mutandao bwekerero o Facebook rabaga sensemo ya YouTube Ensa TV Eritreane Ishmael Mogere. Asumu chakarumo basoboro abasubati bekegori egeke nigo basemigu gweso kiana gwesona ni nuburaime yense eri kubwatiranigwa eriyo kurwa sekurwanirira oboene bwabo gwetera semeruberio osumuruberio umanyekaine buna passing the button oyo ochakiwe ne kiombe gya Polcom Girls gukwara sege karogi akorekana se ensemo ya Kibera bosyo bwo chengera litikoria basubati ensengi mabwori tikoria nkyo nigaba bwate ni bumuruberio yo bayerere bunekerenga kyabwe kenene no gosemya abasubati bekegori egeke eribanyore amayigerio no bumanyi igoro y'oburayi asichinga kichinga bunechiga.
Every girl at the grassroots level, we want systems that work for us. We want systems that work in our favor. As we're speaking right now, from where I'm seated, and I'm sure from where so many girls are seated, the education system is crumbling, the health system is crumbling. The revenue we're raising, more than 60% of it goes to pay debts that we do not see value for money for, but these debts also are the cost of living going high. That means we have to pay more for basic products like sanitary towels, cooking flour and everything. We are suffering because of corruption, because of mistakes that we're not the ones that made. Okay, if you're above 18, chukua kura. That is where change begins, if you ask me honestly, because mostly we depend on donors, which we shouldn't. Our government is supposed to work for us. The system is supposed to work for us because we're equally Kenyans like the privileged people are.
Most of the feminist stories, they're just being told in the books, but some of us really just want to listen as a community. And again, sometimes you find it very hard to listen when you're alone, but when we listen as a community, you tend to first listen and again interact with people and then ask questions that are answered at that moment. So for us, what we did in Passing the Baton 2 was to record these videos and to ensure that they are stored in our YouTube platform, which is the Hive. And then now what we are doing is cascading these stories to the people who really need them in the community. They are like our third person when it comes to like recording a video and now bringing it down to that person who really needs it.
About the older generation who are passing the baton to another generation. So this is a community, and when they get the information, we believe they will not leave this place with the same mindset. They are going to change their communities at large. We have people who are dropped out of school. So we have passed the baton, we have empowered them to continue with education, and we had people who had finished Form 4, but they did not continue with the university. But because of passing on the baton, they understand the meaning of leadership.
Asensemo yende wetera embre nyinge ya chakiri gutwa chinsemo ahime yense nigo embre yo ya irero basombi goturubanirwa asomu chomo nene no Nairobi abwasi ya irera bange konyora chinga kichinko ngukuru enseme ya muguchia asensemo yende embre yo ya ene kiwo gutwa se chinsa chintambe nigo ya irera machiko yaba gwika chipara igoro kurwase emegoko na igo gosomba ebintu byabantu chigali nabo igo goswa gwika chinyombo ime asobomenyo bw'abantu. ase ensemo yende erikwene kyo bokoreri obwikirano chisukuru mono ase ensemo yobo chenu gochia asaborokiwa nige serikali nene yaburiko kwene kibuna chisukuru echo imeyense kurikiro kira barimu abo igo babwata mwegiro igoro yobo bweni ase nginchinde baraba Teresa eriko konya kurwa bokoreri bwabwangu bwobo chenu gochiase aborokiwa korengana no mwarimu omonene bwe skuru yaba isike ya Alibar Geraldina county ya Machakoza nigarere buna omubaro monene bwaborokiwa nigo bagocha basiru bugima chinga kibako munyokiwa gochinya gitari engaki barwarire.
We've seen and heard of the outcry and the many incidents that have happened in various schools, especially in Machakos, in terms of students and learners' safety, and it has drawn our attention. And as a school, we've put measures in place. For instance, because we are a boarding school, we have matrons per section. Matrons act like mothers who take care of the children. If a matron spots a learner who is unwell, they're able to report immediately to the teacher, and through the parents, we take the child to the hospital immediately. If a child is a day scholar, then the teachers who are with that child in class are able to note, because our policy and our culture is friendliness and greetings, so you have to ensure that you mind the welfare of the other person. So the children themselves know if one of them is not feeling very well, they communicate or they notify the class teacher, and then the class teacher reports that to the administration, and then we communicate to the parents on the other end, the other end. If a parent advises us to take the child to the hospital because we have enough personnel in school, then we do that. For the minor incidences, when a child falls, they get hurt, or something like that, we have a first aid kit, and we have people who are trained in administering the same. So after the first aid is administered, then we are able to assess the extent of the damage. Then from there we can now recommend. But all in all, whether it is minor or major, the parents are notified. They remain well informed, because raising the children is a collective responsibility, and the children's welfare is supposed to be known by the stakeholders. So that we do not have a mother receiving a child in the evening who was hurt in school and she or he is not aware of what happened. So we notify them just to be in touch and to also follow up on where we had reached as an institution. So I would advise also the admins to ensure that they take this matter seriously. I don't think a child can pretend to be unwell. So if they report such cases, they need to be addressed immediately. And if that is well done, I'm sure we shall not have a repeat of.
Serikali nigo yaborio kwango yo muruberio bogosibya orucherwa ati ensemo ya mavoko Machakos bwega ensemo ya mwaka erigo chikwene kibuna amacha marabungo ikara seri bwago ria dwake engakirira obwaga chibwae burachie koera korengana na John Maraku chinga kiwetera se Kisaka Foundation bachakire sabari gosimekemete chilifu chimebere nigo baguchia gosimekemete emanyikaine buna bambu angeno rochorwo erigo konya uchunchuga amache.
So under this initiative, Save the River Athi, we intend to plant bamboo trees along the banks of the river Athi. The idea here is to purify the water from industrial effluent. Those companies that operate within the river township along the river, some of them decline their industrial waste into the river, making the river one of the most in this country. So our idea is to make sure that we detoxify that water, we clean, and even in some sections, we are forced to dredge sand and silt that are deposited by waters. So 200,000 bamboo trees from the boundary of Kajiado and Machakos counties downwards. It's also well known that the river Athi is one of the key feeders of the Thwake Dam under construction in Makueni County. And if this river, this water reaches that dam, if it's complete and the water reaches the dam as it is in its present state, it will spell doom for the target consumers.
We started this partnership with Kisaka Foundation Kenya because we felt that we needed to rehabilitate the school environment and make it conducive for our learners. Because before we entered that partnership, the school yard, by then was bare. It was bare, it was very dusty, it was very weedy. And Kisaka Foundation came to our rescue because they really assisted us in acquiring as many seedlings as we have planted. We took over the project. We started growing the trees and watering them, and as you can see, the trees are doing well. This project did not come without challenges because Machakos area and Machakos region is known to be a dry area. It is classified as a semi-arid area, whereby the rain is not so much reliable. Sources of water are not also very reliable. So we had to chip in with my learners in the environment club to take water from home, bring to school, and water the trees.
Ase na yabwatikana na siasa ensemo ya United Opposition nigo bagendera ko moche serikali ya Kenya kwanza kubwatikana n'ibikorwa koni chi passport bibande guchia sabantu batari abakenya gukwana n'abariki bamangana nigo batebirige tambukirekyo nigo gekogenda mamincha neri chiko bwo kubeka ense ya Kenya ase aragote ase ensemo yoborendi.
The United Alternative Government, speaking in defense of the Constitution of Kenya and the sovereign will of its people, issues this urgent statement regarding grave matters that threaten Kenya's security, international standing, and democratic future. Kenya's passport, Kenya's youth, and Kenya's neutrality in regional and global affairs are not commodities to be bartered or squandered. They are sovereign assets held in trust for the people of this republic. Through credible diplomatic channels and corroborated reports, deeply troubling information has emerged concerning the irregular issuance of travel documents, the recruitment of Kenyan youth into foreign combat roles, the abandonment of Kenyan citizens stranded abroad, and the facilitation of sanctioned actors within our borders. Taken together, these failures have transformed Kenya into a pariah state, one that contributes to instability in East Africa and undermines its own citizens at home and abroad. The sale of Kenyan passports, a sovereign crime. The Kenyan passport is a sacred instrument of national identity. It is not a commodity, and it is not for sale. Like the majority of Kenyans, The United Alternative Government is outraged by the credible evidence that the Ruto-led regime has engaged in irregular issuance and de facto auctioning of Kenyan passports and identity documents to foreign nationals, among them alleged drug lords, human trafficking overlords, lords, and rebel groups facing international sanctions. Of particular gravity is a confirmed issuance of Kenyan passports to individuals connected to Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, RSF, a militia whose Commander General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, commonly known as Hemeti, stands sanctioned by both the United Nations and the United States of America for genocide and crimes against humanity in Darfur. That individuals linked to a sanctioned warlord responsible for genocide now hold Kenyan travel documents is not merely a colossal act of betrayal, it is a deliberate criminal enterprise masquerading as governance.
Biamano hasoko choren soko TV buruso bwo mugusina gwikaraga bono tugwikara omwerio bwa Amayia ase chinsi isano nebiri chia bono mubaso cha Africa ya mucha senchira yubu ngense ya muri chinsi isato ruchiko yareterwa ase enchira yubu agarabura baseke baitu bachiko yarigania ase ritiko rigima na boigo Clint nondige na chokumanya ase obwa garagendera kubatimiro birende ya tigere ase ritiko rigima gwika ritiko ya Jumatatu ereterane Ishmael Mogere.